Happy New Year!
Not yet.
Oh. Sounds like Happy New Year. Ready?
Okay, do we start?
I guess we're ready.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Everybody, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New Year of the rooster. I got my Buddha today. I got my Taiwanese, Jade.
Yeah.
And I know we have some questions.
Yes.
Go ahead.
欢迎大家，这个是西萨狗教官亚洲接班人，我是 Annie， 是3位参赛者台湾参赛者的其中之一。今天是我的责任，要替这个 Caesar 做live 的节目 ，OK？ 那我们今天有准备了5个问题，那等一下我会用中英文先问 Caesar， 然后他会给我们解答，然后我再翻译给大家。OK，Caesar。So the first question is. I'll say it in Chinese first, okay?
Okay.
So if you don't understand, it's my fault.
I'm pretty sure I won.
All right, okay. 好，第一个问题呢是说，宠物狗到了每周一次到这个公园散步以后呢，就突然在家里会发现会闻到，只要闻到有木头的味道，家具呢就会开始抬脚尿尿。那这个人问说，请问 Caesar 这样怎么解答 ？So the question is.I walk my dogs to the park once a week.
Yeah, once a week?
Once a week, yes. So that's a problem already.
Okay, that's a problem already.
Yeah. And this owner believes that because he walks the dogs outside, so whenever the dogs at home smells wood scent,
right,
he would mark the wood furniture.
Right.
So the owner wants to know how to resolve that problem.
Well, quick. Once a week is not enough.What people do when they do once a week or once a month, they just let the dog do whatever he wants.
Yeah, 一周一次遛狗是绝对不够。西萨狗教官说 No， 一定要更多，每天。
Yeah, what did you say?
I said that once a week is not enough.
Not
it
enough.
Have to be every day.
It's very important.
Yes.
It's very important. And once you go for a walk, it's very important that the walk has a structure. So the dog follows.He gets to pee in an area that you find for him to pee, and then he goes and follow again. So that way he learns to follow, focus on you, and then to go and use the bathroom. So that way when he goes home, he understands not to use the bathroom at home because he's waiting for you to tell him where to go. Structure, discipline.
Yeah. 所以不但每天要遛狗，而且遛狗还不是被狗遛，是要有架构的。也就是说，你带他走到一个地方，然后你再告诉他说这个地方可以上厕所，上完厕所之后回家。那 Caesar 认为说，这样子有架构的遛狗之后呢，狗狗就会知道说，在家里是不可以尿尿的地方。
Yeah, it's like Taiwan is clean. It's clean because people have discipline, they have structure, they know where to throw the trash. So the dog needs to have the same understanding of where to pee.Yeah，
就跟在台湾一个法治的国家一样，当我们有法律规定哪边可以丢垃圾，哪边不可以，那有了这个 structure， 有了这个架构之后呢，我们就不会随便乱丢垃圾。
Yep.
Okay.
Second
one. All right. 接下来第2题是问，请问如何让很好动、很爱玩的狗狗冷静？比如一直扑人，或者是会跑到人的前面去挡人的路，好甚至于这个人也问到说，2只狗如果很好动的个性，那它们相互会如何影响 ？Okay, so the question asks, how do you calm down a very excited dog? For example, they would run into you, they would jump at you, and furthermore, they want to know if you have 2 of these kind of very excited dogs.How do they interact? How does the energy affect each other?
Well, it does affect each other, good or bad, right? But the most important part is that you start with one dog. You can start with the most excited dog, or you can start with the easiest dog, right? And the easiest thing to do, which is the most difficult thing to do for a lot of people, is to ignore the behavior of a dog, right? Because a lot of people feel that they're ignoring the dog. No, you're ignoring the behavior of a dog. That's why I teach no touch, no talk, no eye contact until the dog calms down.
Yeah.
Maybe.
所以 Caesar 说，无论你是要如何去纠正2只狗，你可以选高能量的先纠正，或者是低能量的先纠正。但是最重要的是，当它在兴奋的时候，你必须要忽视它兴奋的这个行为。那很多人会认为说忽视好像是忽视狗，但是 Caesar 讲的是不是忽视狗，而是忽视这个狗的行为。
And most of the behaviors, most of the problems that people have with their dogs can be easily solved if people exercise more.
大多数的人家里狗狗的行为问题，其实只要我们让他们多做一些运动，有多一个正向的管道去抒发精力，大多数问题都可以解决。Okay. Usually, when I train multiple dogs, I always select the highest energy one first.
You as a professional, yes,
Yeah.
but most people don't have your knowledge, so you have to let them know is the high level energy dog is the one that's triggering the other
Yes.
dogs. So because a lot of people don't have the understanding or the patience,
Yeah.
especially if they start with an easy dog.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. 所以刚刚我提到跟 Caesar 讲说，我在上课的时候，假设有多只狗互动，我多半都会先纠正能量比较高的，因为能量高的会影响能量低的。那 Caesar 提到说，从一个专业人士的角度来讲，当然我们知道怎么去处理，但是一般的饲主可能认为可能认为能量高的反而比较不好纠正，所以先纠正能量低的，先把一个处理掉了，再处理第二个，这样会比较简单。
Yeah.
Good, that's a good tip. OK， 那我们现在第3题。请问我家的公狗有3只，会互咬，而且都是间歇咬，还不停止。那还偶尔还会忽然还会吠叫，那怎么辦？ So this person actually has 3 male dogs, and they fight,
Yeah.
and then they actually fight to bleeding and obviously a real harm. So she wants to know how to stop it, and sometimes they will bark at each other for no reason. How do you solve this?
There is a reason. There is always a reason. There is when a dog enters into a fight, and doesn't naturally stop, what that tells me is he doesn't have enough physical challenge or mental challenge. That means he's not working. So
Okay.
he's using the fight as a way of draining energy.
OK， Caesar 提到说，当2只狗在打架的时候，很多时候它是因为它的能量是一直在堆积在身体里，也就是说，它平常并没有被运动，并没有去有正向的管道去抒发，所以它会用打架的方式把这些能量抒发出来。
When you're raising kids, let's change a little bit, from dogs to kids. When you have 2 kids, 3 kids, and you don't exercise them, it's easier for them to release frustration with each other. So we choose sports, or we choose piano lessons, or we choose take them outside so they can run, because we need to remove that energy into something positive. So when they come back inside the house, they are in a balanced state of mind. So then now they're friends or brothers.
所以像我们家里有小孩子也是这样子，尤其是多个小孩子的家庭，那我们都会尽量让他们去学钢琴，出去玩踢球，去做运动，骑单车，各种各样的不同的活动，让他们在外面去抒发他们的能量，而且是一个正向的管道。那当他们回到家之后呢，他们就是朋友，他们就是和谐的互动。
Now, another thing that I don't know if people in Taiwan are aware of, if dogs are neuter or not neuter, that plays a big role. Having 3 males, we don't know if they're neuter or not. So that's a factor, because that's a natural primal behavior competition of a male. They are going to fight who's going to have the female, even though there is no females.
Yeah.
In their mind, there is a possibility one day that a female might show up.
That's right. 所以 Caesar 刚刚也提到一个很好的一个 tip， 就是说家里的狗因为这位饲主我们不知道他们3只狗是否有节育，那如果没有节育的话，他们自然的也会有比较多的荷尔蒙，然后希望要去争权利，然后也许哪一天有一只母狗来，他们就有这个交配的权利，所以节育也是让狗狗的这个能量降低的一个很好的方式。
Good.
Very, very good. Okay. I also find that when 2 dogs are fighting in a family, that usually means there's a huge lack of leadership at home.
Well, that is, leadership is fulfilling needs.
Yeah.
It's not just telling somebody what to do, right? It's to fulfill what the dogs need. Each dog needs different activities. So when you have 2 kids, 3 kids, I have 2 kids, Andre would like one thing and Calvin would like one thing. So we have to find activities where they fulfill their needs, So the leadership is not always telling them what to do, but it's helping them to accomplish what they want.
Right. 我也发现当很多家里有多只狗的家庭，当2只狗会打架，也是因为 家人并没有正确的领导他们。那 Caesar 刚刚提到说，我们正确的领导的另一种方法是叫他们要做什么，另外一种方法则是选择正确的管道，让他们去抒发能量，还有这个怎么讲，完美他的使命，这样他们就会和谐的互动。
Within those three dogs, they're gonna have, as you know, one that has more energy than the other.
Yeah.
It's gonna one is gonna trigger most of the behavior. So that even if the other dogs don't go for a walk, you have to focus on him.
That's
because he is the one who's triggering the fights. If you don't have enough time, put a backpack on a dog, rollerblade, use a bike. You have to intensify the challenge. Elevate the game.
Yeah. 所以刚刚希泽讲到，3只狗里面一定有一只它的能量是最高的，它也是个性可能最强，它会基本会激发另外几只狗一起打架的这个元素。那他建议饲主比较注意这只狗，让这只狗的挑战提高。例如，如果是出去遛狗，给它带一个小的背包啦，或者是让它做一些竞速的活动啦等等，让它骑单车跑快一点等等，让它的挑战，让它的抒发的管道更明确。
And sometimes when people have 3 dogs, a pack of dogs, often people unconsciously favor one more than the other,
Yes.
which that can also trigger a fight.
That's a very good point. 记者提到说，当我们有2-3只狗的时候，我们下意识的会比较喜欢某一只，或者是说比较放任某一只。那当有比较不公平的状态发生的时候，也是他们会打架的起因之一。Excellent. OK， 好。那接下来第4个问题呢，是提到在不牵绳的开放户外公园里面要如何预防打架的事件。So they want to know how to prevent dogs from fighting each other at a off-leash park.
Well, number one, dogs should not be at a dog park without knowing each other.
Okay.
I'm always a big fan of a pack walk. And most people should walk before they go into an off-leash experience.
Okay.
Because remember, when a dog lives in one apartment in a different apartment, they come from different packs, different families, and they're always going to incline themselves to establish, the excess amount of energy or who's going to rule in the park, especially if they rule in their house.
Right.
That's when you say about the leadership part. So
yes.
If the owners don't have the proper leadership at home, this is exactly what they bring them into the dog park.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be fair for the dogs because they're coming to the dog park
thinking they're leaders.
Because they're already in control of the house.
That's right. 所以 Caesar 提到说，他个人认为，我们去公园之前，其实这些陌生狗应该是先要有一个架构的遛狗，要一起先遛狗。这样他们才会认识对方。那尤其是在一个缺乏领导的家庭里面，这只狗它的心态可能认为它已经是老大了，然后它来到了这个公园，它当然认为说，这是我的管辖，所以有这么多同样心态的狗在一起，它们就会打起架来。
Yeah, that's why I'm always saying exercise first or walk first. Walk is before going to a dog park. For me, dog park is affection. For me, for me, that's a reward. For me, a dog park is not where my dog is going to exercise or have mental stimulation. It's what he gets as a reward for doing a great job.
OK， 所以 Caesar 提到说，他认为其实公园狗狗公园应该是一个奖赏，也就是说，狗狗有表现得很好，有跟其他的陌生狗一起工作，完了以后才到狗狗公园去自由活动。
It's like taking a kid to Disneyland, but he did his homework first.
OK，
right?
就像我们带小孩子，如果去迪士尼乐园，是要先写完功课才能去去迪士尼。
Right. You don't take a kid to Disneyland who is misbehaving.
Yeah.
You take a kid to Disneyland who behave.
Yeah. But also owners also have a job when they go to a dog park as well. Most people, they go there and they start sipping coffee and then talk to each other. And what problem can that cause?
Well, the lack of supervision,
Yeah.
And what happens is the human becomes too relaxed and not focusing on the behavior of a dog. animals are in the moment, are in every split second can mean something
like
else.
The hair standing up, the ears up,
you know, the excitement, the bark, anything can trigger a fight or a bite or a chase. And so it's very important that the owners, they all participate in supervising, not in a tense way, but in a assertive way.
Right. 所以我刚刚也提到，很多狗主人到了狗公园就开始喝咖啡，开始聊天，在话家常。好，那我就问 Caesar 说，如果是这样的状态，会发生什么事？那当然，狗狗也是会注意到说，哎，主人没有在看了，他们可能就开始有一些小小的这个越轨的行为。那主人如果没有注意，没有去立即做纠正的话，可能一个打架就会发生。所以也是要告诉大家，我们去狗公园不是去聊天，不是去喝咖啡，好，但是当然也不要紧张，也不要在那边好像盯着他们看，只要注意有什么事情，一看到那个毛已经抬起来了，耳朵已经往前的时候呢，我们就要做一个小声音，让我们的狗知道说我还在看哦，不可以乱来。
Especially every time a new dog comes into the dog park.
Yes.
It's very, very important.
In or out, getting out.
Yes,
it's the same.
Every time coming in or moving out.
对。
The whole humans at a dog park have to be in the same frame of mind.
Yeah， 尤其是在有新狗狗进入到狗公园的时候，因为它是新来的，它的能量可能很高，还很 excited， 所以这个时候呢，我们一定要比较注意，或者是一只狗要离开的时候，也是同样的状态。
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the fifth question says this person has a husky. Okay, I have 2 huskies myself. 他说，哈士奇的狼嚎是天性但如何教他什么时候可以叫，什么时候不可以叫？我想这个题目应该是最主要是在亚洲，也许在台湾，我们会觉得狼嚎好像是不太吉利啦，所以可能他觉得说，哎呀，这个狗狗狼嚎有点不好意思所以哈士奇因为兴奋或撒娇时会不固定的叫出声音，那深夜呢就会影响到邻居会不满但是他也认为说，其实哈士奇狼嚎是天性，也是没有不对的，但是他有没有什么样子教导的方法，让他能够比较受控 ？So this person's husky will howl and howl at the middle of the night, and in Chinese culture, howling actually means a dog has seen a ghost.
Okay.
So I think that's why actually I get this question a lot also. People ask, oh, how do you stop a dog from howling?
Right.
I mean, I love my dog howling. I think it's very fun, right?
Right.
So they just want to know how to control that a little bit better. And that, she understands it's not a problem from the dog.
It is a problem at the time he's doing it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you watch YouTube, you're going to see a lot of dogs when the owner is playing piano, the dog howls. So this is a more structured interaction with the dog. You see a lot of people playing guitars and the dog is howling. So make it fun. Make it at a certain time. So the dog actually say, 6 o'clock, we have to howl.
Okay.
Right? And so everything goes down to structure. Everything goes down to understanding how to convince a dog, how to redirect a dog. Howling is the right thing to do, but at 12 o'clock is not the right thing to do, especially for your neighbors. They don't want your dog to howl, And so it's just about making it fun and make it at a certain time. It's just if we treat dogs the way we treat dogs for school, which is a structure, right? They have to practice sport. They have to practice piano.
But at the right time.
At the right time, So then the dog learn or the kid learn at a certain time, his mind become accustomed to something.
所以其实 Caesar 每次在讲解的时候，他都会提到做一个比较教育狗狗跟教育小孩其实是非常接近的例如他说，我们早上上课，中午吃饭，然后下午午睡，然后晚上学钢琴，然后几点钟就寝。每个人的生活，小孩子的生活，它是有一个很有结构的。那相对的，对狗狗也是一样。如果你的狗狗会这个狼嚎，那你可以把这个狼嚎这件事情做成一个游戏例如说你可能弹钢琴的时候它就会狼嚎，或者是你打个电话铃声响的时候狗狗就会狼嚎。这样子的话，那你就在特定的时间跟他玩这个游戏，让他知道这个时间我可以狼嚎，但是晚上3更半夜的时候不可以狼嚎。
Yeah, this is the formula. Exercise, mental stimulation, affection. That is the formula. That is the Chinese remedy.
那个中医哦，这个狗狗中医哈是这个运动 exercise
mental stimulation，
然后再来是脑力的激荡
affection，
然后再来最后才是疼爱。
He worked for it.
Yeah， 然后一定要让狗狗去工作后才得到了这个疼爱，而不是免费给他的。
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple.
那 so Caesar, if a dog really does howl in the middle of the night, what do you do?
People already know how to tell a dog no. Most people are really good at telling the dog not to pee in certain areas or not to eat certain things. So you don't have to change how you tell a dog no.
Okay.
You just have to be very certain that at that time you don't want him to do that. And once the dog knows that that's not what you want, he will understand.
I sense that this owner feels a little guilty correcting the dog when it's howling at the wrong time.
Yeah, because what she's going to do is she's going to move it to a better time.
Right.
To a better time schedule. Instead of 12, it's going to be 6.
Yeah.
So the guilt goes away.
OK.
Yeah.
所以刚刚 Caesar 提到说，我刚刚问 Caesar 说，如果说真的狗狗在3更半夜就狼嚎，那怎么办？那我们还是用原本的方式来纠正它吗？那 Caesar 就说，我们经常有时候如果狗狗去捡垃圾，或是到不该上厕所的地方上厕所，我们都会用一种方式去告知狗狗，这样是不 OK 的。那用同样的方式告知狗狗没有关系。那有一些主人可能会感觉到有一点点好像，哎呀，这个狼嚎是天性嘛，那我怎么可以去纠正它呢？那 Caesar 的建议就是说，我们不是完全让它不可以做，而是把它移到一个正确的时间去做这个天性活动。OK， 好。
I don't understand.
That's okay. I hope I translated
Okay,
correctly.
yeah. Can you see?
Okay, so here says, 接下来的问题是 Shiru Wang 发问的。他说，我家的老狗已经10岁了，那因为它不常在家，那狗狗就会一直叫。那狗狗又只听这个爸爸妈妈的，又不听他的，所以他想要问 Caesar 说，我要怎么样才能够让狗狗注意我，然后不要叫？So the question is that...
That's a long question.
No, that's just my translation is very long. Not so good. I'm not so professional here, okay?
No, you're doing great.
Thank you. So this person asked, her dog is 10 years old now, and they're not home a lot, so the dog would bark a lot.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she is not home more than her parents, so the dog only responds to the parents. So she wants to know how she can let the dog stop barking.
But she's not home.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're not home to influence a human. This is the thing about animals, right? You can't text them.
Yeah.
You can't send them Instagram or Facebook. It's a one-on-one. It really
you have to build a relationship.
You have to practice activities.
Yeah.
You have to do exercise. You have to do rules, boundaries, limitations. You have to give affection. Not because you purchase a dog or you adopt a dog and you never pay time to the dog is going to develop affection to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It met you once, but that's all it is. I mean, it's a relationship. And so if you want to modify the mind of a dog or the heart of a dog or the soul of a dog, you have to invest time.
That's right. 所以 Caesar 说，你如果真的常常不在家，那你的确就是没有跟狗狗花足够的时间跟它建立关系。那相对的，你对它的影响力当然就很低。所以Caesar 建议我们不是只是今天去买了狗，或者是今天为了它，我就跟它有什么任何的关系。关系的建立还是要靠每天的互动，每天的这个结构和这个一起来的活动，才能够建立起来，你才能够影响你的狗。
Everybody understand, in our modern world, in order for a business to grow, you have to invest time.
That's right. Yeah.
So in order for a dog relationship to grow or behavior to be modified, you have to invest time. There is no other way around.
Yeah. 从另外一个角度来讲，当商业的活动，我们都知道，我们一定要去这个经营公司才会越来越营运的越来越好。那相对的，养狗也是一样，你一定要跟它建立关系，花时间去训练它，跟它互动，建立正确的人狗关系，那才有可能影响它的行为。
Good.
好，那接下来是 Wendy Lau 的问题，他说：如果我的狗很不喜欢野猫， 只要看到野猫就会失控狂叫啊。那他有试过踢他的屁股，再大声的嘘叫他，但是都没有用，该怎么办？So Wendy asked, her dog really doesn't like stray cats. Okay. And every time when she sees the cat just goes crazy and she's tried to kick the butt, try to do the she thing and didn't work. So what should Wendy do?
Well, Wendy, don't skip the formula. I mean, it's exercise first, and then you ask the dog not to do certain things. You know, a lot of times people want
a quick fix.
And what I do, that's why I say I train people, rehabilitate dogs. So what I train people to know, to understand, is in order for you to change the behavior of a dog, you have to change first.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. 所以 Caesar 说到，我们常常饲主很多都会想要说，有没有什么很快解的方法？老师，我有这个问题，我可怎么处理呀？好，但是 Caesar 要我们回到根本。好，这些问题不是说我用一个快解的方法就可以解决，而是说我到底有没有给他一个这个结构的生活，一定我该做的都有没有做到，才有可能去影响我们的狗。
Otherwise, I would have made an app by now, and you can just press the app, and your dog will stop. You know, it's not the sound, it's not the touch. It's definitely as the formula, and then as the energy, and then as the technique. Without the structure that I follow, I can't change the behavior of a dog. I'm very disciplined. No touch, no talk, no eye contact, exercise, discipline, affection, nose, eyes, ears, rules, boundaries, limitation, affection. Every single day. I live a lifestyle.
Yeah. Caesar 讲到，其实我们养狗，领导狗是一个生活的方式，而不是一个口号而已，甚至于不是一个 APP， 我按了一下嘘就可以，狗就会乖，没有这回事。而是呢，相对的，我们一定要改变自己。好，如果说我们是太兴奋，我们太容易就，或者是太容易就怜悯狗，而不给狗狗生活的一个架构，让他们缺乏一些领导的话，那他们的行为就不会受我们的控制。OK， 好，那再接下来是 Iman Chen。OK， 他说狗狗吃了人吃的食物后，就不要吃饲料了，该怎么办 ？OK，so Iman asked, once a dog started eating human food, doesn't want to go back to eat dog chow, what should he do?
Well, obviously not. It's definitely, it smells better.
Yeah.
Okay, it smells better. It has more flavors. I think it's a lot of more joy, you know, because the dry food doesn't really have the joy of the human food.
Yeah.
But if you want the dog to go back to eat dry food, you just have to let them fast one day.
Yeah.
Open appetite.
Yeah.
You know, because many dogs, especially dogs that live in the city, they don't eat because they're hungry.
They eat because it's time's up.
It's a habit.
That's right.
It's a habit. So it's not a hunger situation. So once you open up that door, and then the dog is going to eat the kibble.
Yes.
So you go back to instincts. Yeah. Right now, it's just a habit.
一般来讲，我们养狗都是早上8点喂食，晚上6点喂食，都是这个就是好像照 schedule 来操的但是呢，很多时候狗狗吃是因为时间到了，而不是因为肚子饿了。所以 Caesar 认为说，虽然人食物当然比较好吃，可能也比较新鲜，所以狗狗吃了人食物以后就不想吃这个饲料了。但是一个很简单的方式就是让它先1天不要吃。先饿它1天，然后带它去运动，让它自然的产生了食欲，那这样子它就会马上就会回到吃狗饲料。
It's like when you're hungry, you eat whatever.
You eat anything.
But when you're not, you just, I don't know, I want specific things. It's a habit.
其实人也是一样，当我们肚子饿的时候，随便一个面包也都可以这个也都可以怎么讲饱食啊。好，那但是如果我们不饿的话，什么东西就会很挑剔。
Good.
OK， 好，下一位的问题是由施满足，应该是小姐吧？她的问题是狗狗去年11月生病去世了她才7岁，怎么面对与狗别离？我真的很想她。This question is great. This person wants to know her dog passed away last year November. And he's only 7 years old. So she is still going through the grieving process.
Who's 7?
The dog was 7. when he passed away. So this person wants to know how to go through the grieving process. Do you have anything to share with?
Well, every person goes their own way, but the right way to do it, I mean, in my opinion, is to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times when people become sad, they retrieve.
Yeah.
They retrieve. They don't talk about it, and so that energy stays within you.
Yeah.
So that's why the grieving doesn't go away, because you're holding it.
Yeah.
Right. But by you talking about it, you are allowing your energy to flow, and you start remembering all the great things about it. So you're grieving in a happy way. Okay, because it's always, for me. I mean, Daddy passed away 6 years ago. I talk about him all the time.
Yes.
You know, I wrote a book about. I just wrote a book about him. I want to write a movie about him. But the way I make sure that I keep him in my heart is I always talk about him. You know, and so you will never forget about him.
Yeah,
but you don't want to live sad, because it will be very difficult for another dog to gravitate to
come
you.
into your life. Yeah.
Because your energy is sad.
So, yeah.
You know,
So
it's negative.
Yeah.
So the next dog is not going to be able to feel the happiness.
Yeah. 所以 Caesar 讲到，一种很好的这个疗愈的方式，就是常常的提到自己的狗狗。大多数的人，当我们想到伤心的事情，我们会关闭，好，我们会离开人群。那反而 Caesar 建议的是，我们要尽量的多提到我们的狗狗，提到他以前的快乐的事情啊，提到他以前可爱的景象。这样子的话，我们对狗狗的想念和思念就会变成一个正向的，而不是一个负向的。那 Caesar 也说到，如果说我们不能够这样疗愈自己的话，我们下一只狗，我们身体就会存有着这个一个负面、很悲哀的一个能量。那这个悲哀的能量会让我们的新的狗狗并没有办法感受到一个快乐的气息，所以这样对第二只狗狗其实是不公平的。
Yeah, life is birth, life, and death, right? In my culture in Mexico, we celebrate birth, we celebrate life, and we celebrate death. And so each culture has its own way of celebrating death. Some cultures, but they feel sad and they hold death as a bad thing. In Mexico, it's very colorful, you know. And so for us, death is just as good as birth.
所以在墨西哥，他们会庆祝birth,
life, and death.
生命，然后还有去世，好，这3件事情他们都会去庆祝。所以呢，去世跟出生其实是同样的快乐的事情。
Yeah, so to us, all of them is happiness, because you learn something from each. You know, so you always celebrate all the stages. So that's, in my culture, that's why we paint. Everything, and you know, we eat food and we bring music and things like that, and
have a party.
And so because dogs are part of our lives, we give them our same rituals.
Yeah, but for Caesar, so for Daddy, how long? What was the duration for you to stop feeling sad about it, and it became sort of transformed to? In my time, Daddy passed away the day that I left to England, so I didn't have time to mourn him. Okay. So I mourned him after, you know. So it definitely it was important for me to go through that experience that he was no longer here. Yeah.
You know, but I didn't have a chance to, because the day that he passed, I was on my way to England. Yeah. So it hit me later.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody goes through it. You know. Definitely what has worked for me, because I have raised so many dogs my whole life. Just Daddy was that special dog.
One.
Yeah, Daddy was that special dog. It's just unique.
I know.
You know, and it took I mean, until today I feel sad. Sure. You know, but I share his story. Everybody knows him. You know, he changed so many people's lives. You know, Daddy would have come into a room and just make everybody smile.
Yes.
Just like that.
He's got it.
That was Daddy. That's right.
Yeah. 我刚刚问 Caesar 说，当 Daddy 去世的时候，他经过多久的这个悲哀的 时期。那 Caesar 提到说，他其实 Daddy 去世的时候，他那天正好飞去伦敦，所以他并没有办法当下就抒发他的情绪。他是之后回到了美国以后才感觉到那个Daddy 去世的那个感觉。所以当然对他来讲，他说即便到今天6年了之后，他还是有悲哀的感受，但是也许我想是慢慢的越来越少吧。
I chose to honor Daddy's pass with happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people honor it with sadness. I chose it with happiness. You know?
My first dog is now 14, and she's not doing too well. So I'm preparing myself.
Preparing yourself, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I understand that there's not amount of preparation that you can do to ever get.
That is
she's
the
my
hardest
special
stage.
dog.
That is the hardest stage to prepare.
Yeah.
And you can never get used to it.
Never.
Birth, life, piece of cake.
Yeah.
But the passing is hard.
Yeah.
So I hope you feel better. And, whenever it's time for you, you adopt another dog. And whatever you learn from the dog that passed away, that's what you share with the second dog. But never stop getting another dog because it hurts. It does hurt, but it also feels good.
Yeah. 所以 Caesar 鼓励你以后还是要再去领养另外一只狗，那要用快乐的回忆来表达我们对狗狗的思念哈，然后让我们新的狗狗也能够分享到你的快乐。好 ，OK， 那我们今天的节目就到此为止啊，谢谢大家的收看。Caesar, do you want to say something to the audience?
Well, I tell you one thing, I can never live without a dog in my whole entire life. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the new show. I hope you learn a lot, and I hope you understand that having a life with a dog is very easy. Exercise, mental stimulation, and affection. Live in the moment, harmony and balance to all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yay. Gonna do the Asia thing.